You've invested time, emotion, and resources into a surgical procedure. But are you protecting that investment once you leave the operating room? Many patients believe the work ends when the last stitch is placed, but the truth is that your skin's health before and after surgery determines the longevity of your result. Today, we are joined by a titan of the healthcare industry, Lisa Paley, CEO of Revision Skincare, to discuss why medical-grade skincare is the secret sauce to surgical success. We're moving beyond the hype of over-the-counter brands and diving into the hard science of peptides, THD ascorbate, and why your skincare should be as precise as your surgeon's scalpel. Stick around, you won't want to miss this.
Welcome to the Doc Dudes, your premier podcast for a behind-the-scenes look at the latest in aesthetic medicine. Hosted by the cosmetic surgeons at Garrett Harper Cosmetic Surgery in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Doc Dudes brings you interviews with insightful guests, expert tips from experienced medical professionals, and lots of laughs along the way. And now, here's Dr. Garrett Harper and Dr. Evon Zoog, also known as the Doc Dudes.
Welcome to the Doc Dudes. I am Dr. Garrett Harper, joined by
Dr. Evon Zoog.
We are both board-certified plastic surgeons in Charlotte, North Carolina, and today only, we have a very special guest who is a transformational leader in the world of skincare, Lisa Paley, who is up in New Jersey right now. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great. Great to be with you guys today.
I love that. All right. For 3 decades, you've had executive experience with global giants like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and GSK. She's built brands we all know, including Advil, Tums, Neutrogena, and she now leads the Revision Skincare team, one of the most trusted names in the physician-dispensed skincare market. And I will say, I am a proud and loyal user of Revision Skincare products. How you like that?
Well, thank you so much. I am as well. And I'm a relatively new convert, I have to say.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I am obsessed with the brightening wash, the brightening facial wash, which I use twice a day. And then I use one of y'all's little pumps from my eye bags that have gotten so terrible that I can no longer look at myself without.
The DEJ eye cream?
Yeah, there's a DEJ, and then what was another one came out with like vitamin C or something that like I really like as well. It's like the DEJ Plus or something like that. Super neat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's also a Plus and a Revox, like a relaxer, yeah.
Ooh, I think they're holding that one back from me. Evan's too young to need to use skincare. He's just sitting over there, just that
I still love
that glistening skin.
My wife loves it too.
Yeah. So, I mean, Revision's amazing.
It will find you, Evan.
I know. Age will find him, and skincare will find him at some point.
That's right.
Well, tell us a little bit just kind of about the philosophy of Revision Skincare, because it really is. I will also say that in Charlotte, North Carolina, this is not hopefully it's a universal thing for you. You have absolutely one of the best reps that I could imagine. We absolutely love Kathleen and think that she always comes in so knowledgeable. She answers all our questions. She's like a chemist. I mean, she's like a science guru. So I applaud you for having amazing representatives for your brand across the country, especially here in Charlotte. We love Kathleen.
Well, thank you so much. We love Kathleen as well. She is absolutely a gem.
Yeah.
And she is just so passionate about, you guys, her customers.
Love that.
And that's what motivates her, I think, to, be really good at what she does. But you're right. We really insist also, even though she does set like an incredibly high standard, even amongst our great reps, all of our reps really pride themselves on being very well versed in, why Revision is differentiated.
Yeah.
And you asked a little bit about the philosophy, and, it is something that they hold like really dear. I said, when I got a hold of this brand, this is about awareness building at this point, because they have so many good fundamentals that make this brand stand out. But they're always, literally when they're doing the science, it's getting at the root causes of like aging. And that's what they try to treat. They do that differently than other brands that you can get just anywhere in the market.
Right. And one thing that Kathleen always talked about, right, is she was always so excited, like almost in an unusual way. She was always so excited about like the science, like the R&D people for you guys.
Yeah.
And it's really, I think that goes to the fundamental principle and philosophy of you guys is, and I loved it because, when I came to Charlotte and started working with Dr. Graper, I would get a little embarrassed because reps would come in, either it was a laser rep or a skincare rep, and he would just start like asking them questions, just like nailing them on things. And I was like so embarrassed. I'd be like eating my taco or whatever I was eating in the break room. And I'd just be like, oh my gosh, he's like going after it again. And it was like a big joke. Like when we'd go back out in the hallway and Graper'd still be in here, grilling people, the whole staff was back there and they're like, is he done yet? Is he done yet? And ultimately, right, like it was awesome because he helped me learn how to kind of weed out the phonies, right? And I can tell you throughout that time, our revision line that we carry back in what is my daughter's favorite room in my office, which is like our skincare warehouse, keeps getting bigger and bigger because your product line continues to just grow and get better. And every time Kathleen's in here, she's in here with something new, which is like super awesome that you guys aren't stagnant, you're not stale, you're always coming out with things to improve problems that you've been working on for a long time. So I applaud you for that.
Well, thank you. And I always I say here, like, we really believe in externalizing the science. Like, some companies do it, they keep it a secret. Like, we put our scientists right out there. We put the superhero cape right on their back, and we let them go to town because that's our real point of difference. So yes, and we are huge innovators. Because we keep trying to solve, like, what are the problems that the consumer is trying to address?
Yeah, you guys also do. Go ahead. No, keep going.
No,
sorry.
I was just going to say, what do they go to the doctors for? They go because they have these targeted issues that they need help with.
So that draws into exactly what I was going to say when I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Is that, like, it really does look like you guys have put a lot of emphasis on your relationship with physicians, right? With dermatologists and with plastic surgeons, people, the doctors who are really taking care of patients' skin. And it's really, your partnership with those providers seems to be part of your philosophy as well.
It absolutely is. In fact, we protect it. We value it immensely. And we do that because we work really hard to be able to take the kind of scrutiny that you described from that. Really. I mean, we would want any of our reps to be able to kind of get on that firing line and take those questions. But also because you're going to recommend this to a patient who also is putting their confidence and trust in you.
Right.
And so we know that those things are so intricately related. And once you have a very positive experience from that combination of factors, you become very, committed to that brand. You trust that brand. You trust that doctor's recommendation. And those two things we think are very intricately linked for the lifetime value of, the patient and the consumer.
I'll also thank you because, love not only the branding, but I love the packaging that you guys have, right? There's nothing better than just like black bottles with like, white, white letters on it. And so it's like, I'm not, when I'm carrying or flying and they open up my bag and they're like, hey, what's this facial brightening serum? It's not coming out in like some big pink bottle or something like that. I love it. Like, I can still feel manly using your products, which I love, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about, like, when we talk about the science behind the bottle, right? Like, and that's a phrase that kind of we talk about because there are a lot of skincare lines that I know of. And a lot of physicians who try to tout their own skincare line. Because we had somebody come to us and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys see so many patients here. Let's do a Graper Harper skincare line. And we looked at it and we were like, but we're not chemists. We're not like, this isn't what we do. And they're like, yeah, but it's super easy. You can just pick from this list and then we'll just plop your logo on the bottle. And you're like, that sucks. Like, I mean, it just seems like so many plastic surgeons and so many dermatologists try to market themselves like above all the effort that goes in from your company and companies like yours to really be on the forefront of making a skincare line that is above and beyond just like, a moisturizer cream and stuff like that, right? So
Right.
I just think that it's really neat for people to know just how much science goes behind your product.
Yeah, so there's terrific rigor. You brought up a couple like interesting things. So one, there's over 25,000 brands of skincare in the world. Like it is a crazy amount of
That's
product
incredible. I
availability.
can tell you
Yeah.
that I'm not going to make it 25,001 because I'm going to let the experts do their thing and I'm going to stick to what
Well,
I'm good at.
I was just going to say, so like, people who really specialize in this and who really like revision, where you can create those points of meaningful difference with genuine efficacy and people see the results, that is a level of commitment. If you're going to put your name on something, it darn well better work really, really well. Right.
100%.
And so I do think that, you make some really valid points and like science is what we do. Like that is the core, of how revision started and what we stand for to this day. That's going to be hard to match by just going into a lab. There's a lot of
Right.
people who borrow science, I say,
Right,
they borrow
right.
it. We actually create it. We're
I love
doing
that.
the in-depth clinicals. We're doing the rigor of testing in people's, doctors' practices.
Right.
We're going in and making sure it does work with the consumers. So we're creating all that validation and we're also finding new pathways to do it.
Right.
And I think that's the really important thing. Like
Right.
it's hard to stay up with that rigor of science if you're only borrowing it. And so I just say like that's one of the things I think helps differentiate.
Oh, 100%. And then, it's not only an ingredient thing. I mean, oftentimes like Kathleen's in here talking to us about like how much science has gone into the ability to actually deliver those ingredients to the level of skin that it needs to go. Like it goes beyond just, whipping up a bunch of things and mixing them up and putting them in a pretty package. It's great to have those ingredients, but if I see this a lot when patients are taking supplements, right? And like they're not taking the supplement in a form where their body can absorb it, where their gut can absorb it. And it's similar for the skin, right? I mean, the skin is the
Yes.
largest organ in the body. So it's great to have
100%.
ingredients, but you guys have kind of developed ways for all of these different ingredients to be able to get to the level where they need to, right?
I think that's it. And I think that, like there's a lot of different ingredients. We do also always try to take like the highest, quality and grade and that drives some of the premiumness in our line.
Sure.
But if you just take even something as basic as like vitamin C, this absorbic acid is often a hero. There's lots of, brands that have vitamin C,
Right.
but it's really hard for vitamin C in some forms to even penetrate the skin
Right.
because of the structure. It's not stable in all the
Right.
solutions,
Right.
and
Right.
it breaks down at a pH. But we take a very specialized form of a vitamin C and we definitely differentiate that in the type of vitamin C that we're using. And
Right.
that is the difference maker, once again. Now, without getting too scientific about it, but just know that they're not all the same.
Right.
And therefore the results you get with them are not all the same.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that we, like really reading the details and understanding. There's so much information available for patients and consumers today. And they really are, I think, as curious as ever about really figuring out what the real deal is.
Right. Well,
they want the truth.
100%. Not only do they want
the
the truth, but they're much better educated, which is awesome, which is part of the reason why. But even when you're educated, though, like things can look great in theory, and we always say like, oh, that looks good on paper, but it's the practicalness of it, right? It's like, how does it perform? And that's what I love about our practice, is that we are constantly getting feedback. Like the estheticians and are talking to us, and we have, kind of a monthly meeting where we're going over product lines and things that we've used, and they're giving their feedback about, hey, my patients love this about the product, or they don't love that. And even you guys take feedback really well. Like when somebody says, oh, they really loved the way it worked, but they felt like it was a little sticky. I mean, all of a sudden, like, you guys have reformulated these things, and it's like, oh, it's not as sticky anymore. And it's like, wow, you actually listen. Because also if patients, if it's simple, right? I kind of told you my philosophy on life is keep it simple, stupid. But it's one of these things where if it works and if it's easy to use, it's going to work even better because that patient is going to use it, right? If something's difficult or if it doesn't feel good on their skin, they're not going to walk around all day with some facial moisturizer or some product that they've got that just makes them feel like gross. You know what I mean? So it's really great that you guys make those little subtle changes to make it easier for patients to stick with.
Yeah, we really do pay attention to the aesthetic. Yeah. And I think it really is like, when you've had a good experience,
right?
Because to your point, that consumer feedback loop for us is also important. So I love that you guys do that.
Yep.
And that you guys are willing to share with us when you're hearing things that aren't, at the standard you would want them. That's, we don't get a ton of that, but it's a rare gift that people will share that with you. So, we really value that. And those are the types of partnerships that we find really valuable. We love partnering, back with the practices just to figure out not just like how to make it better, but what next do they need? You guys are also sort of on the front lines of hearing about what they're trying to address as well.
And one of the things where when we talk about like relatively new to surgery, because it really has taken decades for, I think, plastic surgeons to admit or to realize or to like let go of their egos and realize that that what we do back in the operating room, yes, is important. It's critical. It's great. We love what we do, which is what's so awesome. But one of the things is we've realized that doing our surgery alone gets you results up to a point. But when we treat the skin ahead of time and afterwards, and we're using some of the products that you guys have come up with, you're getting an even better result. So talk a little bit about what your company has done to try to make surgery and our results even better by formulating kind of this synergistic relationship between your skincare line and post-surgery or post-procedure, because it's not all surgery, right? Like we know that there's treatments that people need to do after lasers and things like that as well.
Absolutely. And other treatments. I would say yes, post, but maybe we start even with like, what do we do pre?
Yeah.
Because healthy skin going in is healthier skin coming out.
100%,
right. And so I think, like if you can be doing that priming and really, be creating the right moisture and functionality, not being disruptive to the skin before you're going to go in on a major, surgery or procedure,
right.
Then the skin can be more resilient coming out of surgical, trauma or, it's a cut to the skin, right? So it has to be in healing right away.
Right.
So I do think like making sure that they're using things that help with that lower inflammation, also helps staying really well hydrated. So there's lots of things that we've learned that matter going in. And that can be about the antioxidants, that can be about the other healing ingredients, that have treated their conditions they had.
Sure.
But mostly it's the daily routine, honestly, that getting to that longevity layer, like going deeper for that moisturization, those types of things help with that, building up more collagen, building up more elasticity, those things all help. Post-procedure, it's a little different because you are also now trying to help speed up a recovery of something that's happened, either an injury, a cut, something.
Yeah.
And we believe that, that can be us trying to help reduce redness, reduce inflammation. We formulate so that the products can be used very quickly after a procedure.
Right.
So they don't irritate, they don't disrupt further, skin that's trying to recover itself. Sure. And then once you kind of get back to that natural biome, with everything communicating better within the skin, then you can start your normal daily routine faster, which is always their objective, right? They always want to kind of like get me back to normal. I want the procedure. I want all the benefits of it, but I want to recover really fast too. I want minimal downtime. Right?
Yeah. Everybody wants that, right? That's constantly what Evan and I hear from anybody is it's all about downtime. It's all about recovery. And so what we tell them is exactly what you just nailed it, is preparing yourself for surgery is almost as critical as the surgery itself or the recovery from it. So, I mean, we're constantly seeing people who come in, right, who say, I'm ready for a neck lift, I'm ready for a facelift, I'm ready for my eyes or something like that. Because when we talk about skincare, that's really what we're talking about is kind of above the collarbones for a lot of patients, even though skincare can be anywhere on the body. That's where people are really going to focus on. And, some of those patients have had bad habits. And so that's why their skin's kind of in the situation that they're in to see us in the first place. And Evan and I kind of pumped the brakes and we're like, okay, great. I think you're going to be an awesome candidate for this, but we've got to get you prepped first. And so we want you to go over and see our estheticians, and we want to put you on a skincare regimen for 6 to 8 weeks, minimum of 4 weeks prior to surgery. So even if people are like, oh, I got to get this done because I've got a reunion or a wedding or something like that we've got to get to, we make sure that we emphasize to them the importance of getting them prepared for surgery. And then Evan and I do our thing. And then it's like, okay, here's our recovery regimen, which is different. And then ultimately you want patients, Evan talked about earlier today with me, we want them to protect their investment, right, Evan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be helpful if we can mention the specific products that we like to use for pre-op and post, post-surgery.
Yeah.
If you want to touch on that.
Yeah, I mean, on the pre-op, we could try to keep it. You said keep it simple, and that is kind of what we are really doing. We call it the ABC plus E. It's literally as simple as the ABCs, but it's really making sure that you've got their, like a daily sunscreen. So we do IntelliShade Original is recommended. It's a combination of a moisturizer. It's helping for reducing the effects of aging, and it's also protecting from the sun. That's super important. Probably best step you could take on any of that. But the moisturization, we use the DEJ Daily Boosting Serum, which this is the one that has the very unique science that goes to the what we call now the longevity layer, which is the dermal epidural junction.
Yeah.
And very few products penetrate below that layer, which is why we're so differentiated on that.
I do feel like the DEJ is kind of what put you guys on the map. I mean, would you agree with that? That was like, that was a whole scientific thing where people were like, wait, what? And so that's, I think, opened up Revision Skincare line to like everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why for me, like when I came, I actually just repositioned our brand against it, literally the longevity layer, because that's what I think people really know us for and what we can, stand on. And we build a lot of products around that. So we're working, for example, I'm going to come back to your question on post-procedure here in a second, but like we're working on new products like for hair regrowth. All of that is at the dermal epidural junction where that stuff starts. So if you don't understand how to get through that layer and to really begin the work there, you're not really addressing it at the signs that really produce the longevity and the healthiness of the skin.
So wait, my ears just perked up. You've got your scientists working on helping us get our hair back?
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah, we've got some great stuff, but it's okay, good. That's what we want to hear. We'll definitely talk more about that later.
Yeah.
You asked also about post-procedure, and I think, that is really the CMT plus because it's got the anti-inflammatories in it. This one was revolutionary, 3-4 years ago, and that one is the adoption rate by doctors is so high. We have a lot of doctors, like that is the first product that they buy because they're in the operating room like you guys, and they see how much that helps the patients come out on their recovery journey.
This has gone like wildfire, by the way.
Yes.
The CMT.
Yes.
I mean, and there have been a bunch of skincare lines that I respect also along with yours that have had really great products. I love some of the elastin products for post-procedure stuff as well. And I think we were kind of committed to them. Cosmetic has some great, Skinprint has some great products there as well. The Obagis, everybody kind of knows that story and knows that name. But the CMT has been wild. I mean, our estheticians are really, really loving that, especially after some of their lasers and their microneedling procedures and things like that.
Exactly. And that one is really, really trusted as well. So we're, and we want to be helping with those, individual consumer and patient journeys. So definitely. We think this is important. We have our scientific advisory board. When I say we work closely with physicians, I mean, we are on the regular, in practices and in offices and even, like yours, getting feedback, and they really want more from us in that space. Honestly, they like our standards. They like what we do. They're trying to help us find even newer ingredients and things. So, so we, they're really advocating for even more.
But I think that this is
a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, this is a philosophy that's kind of grown along with with surgery and with skincare, right? Is that the need for pre and post game stuff. And so, I mean, I think it's kind of working together. So as we're learning the importance of that, I think you guys are too, which is why your product line is expanding, right? I mean, you said CMT's 3 or 4 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, well, how long have we been doing facelifts? How long have we been doing lasers? Why is Revision, and it's like, well, Revision saw that there was a need for it. So they got their science, and then I know it takes years and years and tons of studies and all sorts of financial backings to get one new product out there. But I commend you guys for your R&D, and I think that's neat. Plastic surgery, I don't see new stuff coming to any area more than I see plastic surgery and dermatology. Some of it because I want to talk to you about, the idea of regenerative skincare and what your thoughts are on that, and where is Revision going to have a stake in that? Do you see that being important to your skincare line? Is it something that's complementary? Do you think it's bogus? Where are you? Because that's such a buzzword right now, just in health, period, right? Everybody wants to talk about regenerative. Like, oh, why not just make the cells you have right now work better and act younger? It sounds amazing, right? It sounds almost like science fiction. So talk to us a little bit about regenerative skincare and how that has a role in Revision.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely believe in regenerative skincare. That is very much what we stand for, which is getting at the root causes, these, hallmarks of aging, and really believe in skin longevity. And I think regenerative is part of that journey.
Right.
Now, I think there's some things that we're not into because they're just not proven enough yet.
Right.
Things like exosomes. There's some growth factors that they're not clear where they're coming from. And, we're going to get in when the science is more solid,
right.
On some of those things. But we are excited that people are testing and learning and experimenting, because we do believe, ultimately there will be breakthroughs if people, continue to do that. We're looking now at, we just came out, it's peel-like, but it's not a peel, but it's more of a procedure, which we haven't been into.
Right.
We've been mostly topicals and after and befores, like you were describing, but we actually know that we're able to produce, more collagen and more elastin. And that combination helps skin, buoyancy and resiliency. And people love that. And this is like, you talk about things that they might need short-term, right? Low downtime, all of those things. And so we keep going more towards this because we do believe in the natural treatment to enhance skin longevity. So that's our ultimate, kind of fundamental principle.
Yeah.
And that's where you'll see us, kind of play, but we'll do it when the science is right.
I love it. You're kind of like me. Like, I like to wait and see how other people are doing with stuff so that I don't make the mistake. I let them make the mistake. And and then it saves you headache, and it saves you time, and it saves you money, right?
Yes, it does. And but we're experimenters. We're definitely experimenting, but we're not bringing that into a practice until the time is going to be right, and the science is right.
Time means everything. Okay, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions with you. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Revision skincare product? Are you going to make people mad if you answer that?
No,
right,
no.
good.
We all have our favorites.
All
like
right.
I have lots of favorites, but my very
Give me
favorite
three.
is the
Give me three. Three
okay,
favorites.
I'm going to give you three.
Okay, good.
the first one is Nectafirm Advanced.
Okay.
I am a huge fan. I love the fact that it can firm. I think if you've got people that are in early stages of their GLP-1 journeys, like this is a great reinforcing thing. Now it's not for severe, after they've lost lots of weight, but on the journey is super helpful.
Yep.
It's a very much of affirming.
But supporting those tissues while they're losing weight is also critically important.
Exactly. Yeah. And it slows down the effects. So that part is great. So that's one.
Nectafirm Advanced. All right. Got it.
Yep. I think you have to have like an IntelliShade because you need the sun protection.
Right.
I think there's a fact out there, like the left side damage for men and women is like so bad compared to the right because they get so much more sun exposure. So I'm a big, always have some type of sunscreen. My third is probably the DEJ daily boosting serum.
Okay.
That is the one that gets into the longevity layer.
Okay.
That one is a huge difference maker for your moisturization and the feeling is just luscious. So I love the texture of that one.
And brilliant marketing, by the way, on like Nectafirm and all that kind of stuff, because that was the other huge player that brought people to revision, right? And so certainly I think the three that you just talked about, covers the patient significantly, right? Like the daily kind of sunscreen. Everybody's worried about their neck, and Nectafirm has been the gold standard for decades with that. And the DEJ also is just a hugely popular product here. I don't know. I'm looking at Debbie right now, and those are probably our three most popular products from them. And definitely while we're doing post-procedure stuff, the CMT has been amazing. All right, so those are your three favorites.
For sure.
All right, what skincare trend, right? And I'm sure there's lots of them, and I'm not very social media savvy, so I don't see a lot of them. But what skincare trend right now are you just cringing at? You're like, oh my gosh, please don't do that.
You see a lot of crazy stuff on.
Can I ask you about one and you give me your opinion on it?
Yeah, sure.
What about, because I want to buy this so bad. All right, I'm a big cold plunger, right? I love it.
Okay.
So what about these things where you like stick your face in an ice bath and it has like a snorkel on it and you can breathe while you're doing it? How do you feel about like cold water immersion for skincare?
Look, it's going to give you a very short-term pop because your skin tightens up when it's cold.
Sure.
Right? It's a very natural reaction.
So why not just do it like every 30 minutes and then you'll just look great all day. Just carry the little bucket and some ice around with you and you'll look great,
with your snorkel. Yeah, that'd be great. I think that's why you don't do it. It's just not practical. I mean, and it's very short-term in nature. It's very short-term in nature.
Right.
So in terms of the benefits.
All right. So did you have another trend that you're like, oh my gosh, please don't do that? Like, I mean, who knows? I know there's like
I'm not a big fan of like the cucumbers on the eyes. Like I think, there's just things that aren't really doing that much for you. It might make you feel relaxed, but it's not really having any therapeutic benefit.
Can I ask you about another one? What about the under eye bag, like the patches that people
That's exactly
put on?
what I was going to ask her.
Right?
I get them at Costco and they feel so good. I love them.
Yeah, I think that is soothing. And I think I think that one is legit. And the reason is, a lot of people get the swelling and if you get a cool pack, it takes some of that swelling out. So I do think you're getting a benefit.
Can I give you advice? And this is on the record. So like if this goes, I want some of the royalties on it.
Okay.
Let's make the patches with like impregnated with DEJ. Boom. I just blew your mind.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Can I retire? Can you guys do it and then I'll retire?
We'll figure out the royalties. Yeah,
let's do it. But like, that's one of these things where I remember I've got a buddy here in town that like his family owned this like tape company, like literally, like they make tape. And like one of the things he was saying was, he was talking about, how can we, because we have our patients tape their incisions and use scar gel over the top of it, right? And then the scar gel seeps through the tape because we use a micropore tape. And his company like makes the micropore tape. And I was like, well, how can we just impregnate the adhesive on the underside of this tape with these, all the different things that we want, if it's silicone or if it's whatever the ingredients are. And I'm like, we should do that with those under eye patches. And like,
just put it right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the infusion.
So you work on that. And then I'll have my attorneys call. I don't have an attorney, but I'll have Evan's brother-in-law, who's an attorney, call you guys, and we'll all work it out, right? But I made that up, so that's mine.
All right.
All right. No other trends that you're just like, oh my gosh, that's just wildly crazy. So you like the under eye patches. Unfortunately, you do not like the submerging my face with a snorkel in ice water.
You know the one that I was super shocked took off. You see like a lot of younger folks and even older folks that when they get like acne and they put the little dot patch and wear it like a badge of honor.
Oh yeah.
Now, like who would have thought, that people would be socially acceptable or socially cool.
Like they're like stars, like they're little fun like stars and things like that.
Exactly. And it's like the grown-up Band-Aid kid.
I know.
But I think it's I think
Nelly the rapper
that
made that popular. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, he started wearing a Band-Aid on his face and didn't have a cut there. So maybe but yeah, you're right. You see those people, and the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, why does that girl have like a bunch of stars on her face? And it was like, those are like pimple reducers or something like that. And so then yeah, of course I was on vacation and got a pimple like you always do when you're on vacation, and was like, I need one of those things. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want a star. I want something cool. I don't know what I.
They make so many of them now. So,
like a little miniature like glass of whiskey or something like that. That'd be perfect, right?
Yeah, but it really does speak to the power of social media. That's how it got cool. Yeah.
Yep. So you brought it up, younger people. So for audience listeners that are younger in their 20s, what's the one skincare? I already know what you're going to say. What's the one revision skincare product that you would tell them to start immediately?
It's got to be the IntelliShade Original.
What did I just mouth to you? What did I just mouth to you? I just said it. Yeah. Good. All right. See, I'm learning.
Good. It's good that we would say the same thing.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Because it's true. And people have to know how important that is and what a difference it makes when you start earlier in your life, to 100%. Be more defensive about 100%. It. Yeah.
So along those same lines, what's the number one mistake patients make at their at-home routines? Oh, can I ask you a question? Do you recommend like using face washes and things like that? Does it matter if I'm using warm water or cold water?
It doesn't matter in terms of the product's effectiveness. Okay. All right. But you might have a preference, how it feels on your skin, depending on what you need. Yeah. And you live in a kind of warm area, so you might need some cool water from time to time.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? Like you get in different seasons, right? And you're kind of like, oh man, I need more moisturizer. It's winter. Or, oh man, I need more so-and-so because it's hotter outside and all those types of things. Okay. Tell me your number one mistake. What are people doing wrong? It may be an omission of something. I don't know.
Well, I think that's what I was going to say. I think they oftentimes are just doing a really basic moisturizer, and they're not taking enough care on that sun protection. They're not taking enough care, to keep the skin cells refreshed, with some of the night retinols and things. So I think those are the things. But one of the things that we believe we do that helps make it easier, again, because you like things simple, is we take all of our products there. You can put them all in your hand at the same time, mix them together and apply it on your face so you don't feel like you have so many steps you have to get through.
Are you telling a lie? Is that a lie?
No, that's absolute truth.
That's the truth? Really?
Absolute truth. And we formulate that way. So you think about
so none of your products cancel each other out, or like
they do not. I mean, literally, they're very synergistic. I don't want to say none because it's a broad product line, but in general, the core ones are very synergistic.
Yeah.
To be able to use that way, and they're all sometimes different mechanisms of absorption and things. So it can all be used as like a very efficient product.
Boy, does that make it easy. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I mean, we've really enjoyed it. We've gone like past the 40-minute mark, so I'm getting like all these bad looks and all these kinds of, But I mean, it's awesome talking to you. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Remember, your skin is the canvas for our work. Great results are as much a part of the care you give your skin every single day as they are the procedure itself. If you want to know which revision skincare protocol is right for your upcoming surgery or just your daily maintenance, visit us at g8surgery.com or call us at 704-375-7111 to schedule a consultation with our skincare experts. Your voice matters to us. If this episode sparked a question about skincare science, or if you have a topic suggestion for a future episode of the Doc Dudes, don't hold back. You can easily reach us at ghsurgery.com by clicking the Doc Dudes link on the homepage and submitting your questions and feedback. Make sure you're subscribed so you get notified about new episodes automatically. We drop fresh episodes on the last Tuesday of every month. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, and on our website. Keep up with everything happening at our practice and get episode updates by following our Instagram and Facebook pages. This is Dr. Garrett Harper, along with
Dr. Evon Zoog
and our special guest,
Lisa Paley.
the CEO of Revision Skincare. It has been a blessing and an honor to talk to you. We thank you so much for getting our patients more educated on the importance of skincare, not just daily, but pre-procedure and post-procedure, and letting us know all the amazing things that Revision does to ensure that our patients get the absolute best care that they can. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate you very much.